I'm going to do a quick stock market update, so I'm going to be fast in this one. I've had a full day today. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I want to go there. I'm sure you've been busy too, so when you hear me complain about, oh my gosh, I'm worn out. So anyway, this is crazy. I have never seen a market like this. This is in the reach of insanity. I'm serious, but I'm serious. This is the biggest garbage I've ever seen. You got PE ratios historically I haven't seen in 20 years that the market's overvalued. Even during normal times, during normal and great times, not just normal, great times. I don't think I have it here. I put it in a comment before. I came in the PE ratio is pushing like, I can't remember, something like, I don't know, it's something like 21 or something, but it was supposed to be like 18 or 16. So, I mean, we've got PE ratios out the roof. That's price to earnings, meaning these companies are not even, the prices are way jacked compared to their earnings, right? So, okay, so this thing is so fakery. Oh, you are kidding me. This is horrible. Well, not horrible. It's horrible if you're on the position I am on right now. It's great, but if you're quick in and out, you're laughing about how this thing is, right? And I'm telling you, we've seen rotation. We're seeing, like I told you, turn rotation. Even I heard today I was watching a stock market channel. They're talking about rotation. They're seeing even through commodities and all these other movements, different sectors and stuff like that. There's just rotation of money. It's like a whirlpool. They're just moving stuff around to keep this thing afloat. It doesn't matter how they do it. They got it. So, we can complain about it. So anyway, here's the thing is, I mean, seriously, you should trade the opposite of me on this one. This is hilarious. I'm not kidding you. You should be on the opposite of the trade. I'm still holding on to my yang that's been such a dang yang. And also the IWM, it's the TZA, which is opposite of the Russell, the IWM stuff. That's what we got up here is the opposite of Russell. And my goodness, that thing is just, this whole thing is ugly. We got that perfect cup and handle though. See, I should have played that out. I should have at least done half of it or something, because I told you that gap. And, sometimes I just don't listen to my own stupid advice. But anyway, I just didn't expect it because I got taken off guard. But like I said, I'm still on that target for, we have, did the date again, January 23rd. We still have to about I'm actually guessing around the second week of February when they pull the plug. So I don't know how much more pain they could put on these bears like myself. I'm just a temporary bear on the short side. I have no idea. This is getting insane. But now we got to think about this cup and handle formation. Now the angle, remember I told you, so I went all the way back to last week. We had this cup, and then we had this drop that was really tight. Usually you have more of a drag out here before you launch it. How those two bottom sticks. That was crazy. They dropped and they pulled a fake on us, man. I tell you what, because usually you'll have this, and then it'll slowly dry. It gives you time to get out, and then it'll launch again, right? Now they're playing this game where they took this, they pound the handle, and then they brought it right back up. So, if you try to average it out, that's, I'm not trying to, this is weird. If you try to average those middle bars out, the accumulation, the average price that was paid per whatever, because I don't have the daytime. Yeah, you could argue, well, it's still kind of in that formation, but I do not like this. And that's where you have that gap fill. Let me show you that gap fill. This is brutal even for pattern traders. I'm not kidding you. They're taking no names. All right, see that gap there? Remember that was when the gap is between there, right? You got the gap between those two bars, and they come in, they fill it, and I expected them to drop it again. But oh no, they bring it up today. You kidding me? And even on terrible economic forecast indicator, just awful. We're talking 10-year out projections. Really? And people are just buying this thing? Seriously. Here's the thing is, I'm going to say it again. This whole world has gotten so fake. It is so artificial. I told you, we got $1 million homes down here that people are still, they haven't lost their homes yet. There should be just mass, there should be this mass extinction of people. Everybody should be homeless. I'm telling you, if you're the one that true souls here, you're going to have to wake up, because this system is so rigged that you got to realize these people that are in these homes, I don't even know if there's anybody that lives there. There's actually a true story that a guy just reported the other day that he lives in an apartment complex. It's supposed to be like, a large one. Let's say 150 or whatever it was people. He said he's never seen the neighbors, and they live right next door. He saw them like once or something come in and out, and he says he never hears them come in or out or anything like that. He said there's nobody. The hallways are always empty. This kind of freaked me out if I was him. He said nobody ever comes or goes out. There's a few occasional people, and there's something about the same people come and go every day at the same time, kind of like NPCs just kind of entering and exit, kind of like background people just moving out of that apartment complex. That is freaky. But I have seen double Dopplers or triple Dopplers and quadruple Dopplers. I'm seeing the same faces and same voices and same eyes, especially the Karens. These people, seriously, folks, I'm not trying to freak you out. But it's kind of like God and the creators and the ones in this computer simulation have run out of characters and I'm seeing repeats, or they're doing it to inform us, right? Say, hey, let's show you're kind of living figure out. I'm serious. I can tell the demeanor, the eyes, the sound. Yeah, people can be the same, but not the Quincy Kirk, just meeting them across the nation. When I've been on this journey around the nation, being exact size, weight, eyes. I told you, security guard. I've seen this guy like 20 times. Always has a bad attitude. Wears the same glasses. I mean, it's like the Matrix, just got to copy these people, right? I know you watch this stock market. Some people are there, just join my channel. They're going, what is he talking about? Has this guy lost his mind? He's talking about Matrix, all this stuff. They're probably like, you got to be kidding me. So I'll keep this up. I'm going to do a video about that later. But I'm telling you, the reason it's important is all this stuff is correlated. Movies, the Mandela effect, the simulations, Tron. I'm getting so much information about how fake. There was even, you're going to love this one. I'm going to talk about this one later, that there was a philosopher, I'm trying to find out who it was, that he said that there is really no death. You just transition from one world to the other. Well, we didn't really die. There's thoughts that we had a mass extinction on the old, I always get those names mixed up, the Earths, or, the Earths. There's a mass extinction on the Sagittarius Earth and moved to Orion, right? So now we've been moved to another world, or, another world. A philosopher said it's just a trend. So there was a mass extinction. We think it's possible a meteorite had hit the moon, exploded. There were reports about that. We have a NASA guy, one of our brothers, who said that he had listened to the radio, and it was projected that there was warning signs that an asteroid was coming to hit the moon. This lady talks about exploding, and she saw it, and all of a sudden she was dead and flapped over here and joined the rest of us. I don't know. Let's not worry about that, because you're here, you're still breathing, still alive. What, you just take it from this point going forward. We keep working for God, a creator, and show that and try to be better people, right? So I got to throw it in there. So why am I bringing this up? Because this world, even the stock market, I'm telling you, I've traded all the nasties, and this thing is about unmanageable. But, the patterns are still kind of holding there. I mean, you could have took a bet here. You got to, maybe hedge it. But see how they've done this? Oh, you kidding me? It should have been more of like this, and then kind of a wandering between that bar here and kind of dragging out, and then another launch. So now I got to think, well, darn, so what do we do now? So now we got this, and I'm thinking, well, I think they're going to pull that back, trying to get it here, pull it back, and then launch again. Because if we don't see that sucker start pulling sideways, so we don't start seeing some down action, don't tell me they're going to try to channel that thing, because that would be the most weirdest coming down, because it's supposed to be pretty quick result, by the way. We're talking with a day or two, it either has to go up or it has to go down quickly. We're not talking a little wandering back and forth or channeling like we've seen before. This thing's got to make a move quick, like there, up, or it's got to drop off the cliff quickly there, okay? Now, here's the VIX. It's the MACD. Very important. We have the crossover. Shoot. Oh my gosh, I had to drag the whole thing. All right, here we go. I'm trying to pull that down. All right, so here we go. We got the MACD, all right? So that's where you would have gone long, and you rode the road up on the with IWM, right? And now I got to bring that down. Darn it! Bring this down. Darn it! Come on, what? Are you kidding me? I'm gonna pause it, my friend. All right, so here we go again. All right. So here's the thing: is we had that quick dip off, and I was expecting it to start to. It did a head fake on us, because boy, that thing was getting ready to move down. You got to be kidding me! It's still in there. So now we got this little wing. So we got to have it turned down here before that MACD, because now, see, I front ran that thing. I started getting in there, was up there, and I was like, oh man, the MACD just start turning, blah, blah, getting the yang and all this other stuff. I'm getting all excited. And look at that sucker. So anyway, so here's the thing is how, see it, but it's still trying to wander, I think, a little bit. Like, see how you just wandering here. It's hard to see around everything. It's starting to wander now. So probably a good here. It's probably topped out. But, I keep saying that. But the volume, let's see the volume. The volume's pretty weak on this bounce up here, this laced move. You don't see, there's a big jet up, that funnel thing, which is called distribution. See those bars there? And then we got this dip off. I would like to see, you should have had a better stick, people stepping into it there and bringing that volume back. That volume's just kind of trailing off. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm not, is that volume? No, it's up and down. I'm stupid, I'm sorry. There's volume here. I got to redo this. We had a volume step in on the day after, which is, is that distribution? God. See, that right there is what I'm talking about. Look at this. That thing was like somebody stepped in there. That's a tough one. But see, the problem is it kind of got weak in here today. And yeah, it is a Monday, but still. And people might be holding back to see what the some of these earnings are, but that was still kind of weak. That was a weak follow through on that sucker. And you want to have something. Let's see if I can find one that shows more of a follow through. Well, there's the down sell off. We're just not seeing much of a push. But I mean, it doesn't matter. Okay, so let's move on. I'm going to pop. All right, well, I had to reset everything. I lost all my moving averages and stuff like that, but that's okay. This is the Yang, which is the China short. And look at this. This thing is trying to hold. Look at this. The volume is pretty good. Oh my gosh, I think you said you can't even see the candlesticks. Okay, now I got the candlestick. This is actually looking pretty good now. And because look, I got the crossover here, but that's weird. That's pulling down. You know, that's a stinky because that's a inverted. That's rare, folks. I'm not too rare. I told you. Oh, I guess let me draw that better. Let's see where we're at with that down here. Is that right there? Yeah, it's right in there. So that is odd. Okay, because we shouldn't be falling off like this, but it shouldn't and could and wouldn't. It's all a different story, right? But, I mean, this sell-off has been pretty intense on that crossover and the down move. But what I do like is we have this spinning top here. See, that's a spinning top, which is good. You know, you kind of want to, like this, and then back up, and on heavy volume to be a bottom. But this is, you got to realize it's ETF 3 times. It's going to have low volume. But the fact that we see this trailing in this, I'm going to have to pull up the major index on this, or the major ETFs that are involved in this to get a better indication. So take a grain of salt. You should use the bigger, higher volume and get the index directly. And I don't think you can get volume on that index in China, but I'm not sure. But you also just use the ETF that's highly traded, right? Might give you some more ideas. So, but that doesn't look too bad. Overall, we're still okay on the Yang because as long as we don't get a crossover coming back down, but there's a lot of room to keep moving up on that thing. So I'm not worried about that because I'm trying to see the 0 point line. Darn it. See, I had to reset everything, so now it's a mess. Well, it's -9, so you want the 0 point line. Remember, you're really low behind that. So it's way below the 0 point line. See where the 0 point line up there? This thing's so stupid. I don't know how. My gosh, how this stuff at Yahoo, you can't. Anyway, sorry about that. So anyway, we got a lot of room. I'm not worried about the Yang. I'm more worried about what's going on with that darn thing. So I'm going to do the VIX next. Hold on a minute. Okay, now here we got the VIX. VIX is still looking okay. Which I told you it's going to trade. You know, like I said, you know, if you're down below 20, you can actually go long in it. I like to, you know, but like this, you know, down here 1820, and you can ride a little bit. We're still below that 23 marker though. I was kind of thinking we want to be up here. So we're kind of in this range here, right? Range bound, right? But we didn't see much sell, and we had an inside stick here. Oh, look at that! See, inside. So we're starting to form a wedge, and actually, so we got a little wedge going on here. So, so I still think that things gonna move up. Remember, this moves up, stock market moves down, right? So, and you know, the MACD is it's starting to flatten out, but I still think that purple is going to turn up on there. Because I'm serious, look how far down you are. I'm just looking at the sign of the 0 line. Look at this. We've been down a long. Well, no, here we did. But see, there it stayed below the 0 line, which is crazy. That goes back to, I don't know, let's see, make sure I'm on the right chart here. The daily. See, daily? Yeah, there we go. We're still on. I want to just make sure. I mean, seriously, this thing is just crazy. Okay, well, not crazy. It's not terrible. You know, this thing's pointing up because like we had this temporary pull back up here. We had this launch up here, right? So there's the crossover, somewhere there. Let's see here. And then we had the crossover on the down stick. And what happened here? I can't pull it over, darn it. Well, that's where we are in the current cross stick down. But see, we're still there, but below the 0 line here. And that purple, it should come up at least at the 0 line. It's probably going to go further. So I'm still going to have to say I'm going to hold short. I know it sounds crazy. I should have played the temporary swing traded or, you know, that other stuff, but that's okay. All right, so what else? Is that it? VIX, Yang, IWM. I think that's about it. You can check the dollar and stuff like that. I like the fear gauge and stuff like that. I'm going to keep it because I got to get moving. I'm sorry, and I'll try to do a better update on that. So if you have any questions, put in the comment board or something like that. And boy, or start trading opposite Kirk for a little bit. I'm sorry, that is crazy. I'm seriously, you know, and so I hope that helps. But you know, if anything you get out of this, hope it teaches you patterns, the pattern moves, like the cup and handle. And I'll try to do a better job on, you know, I should have, you know, I told you that gap. I said I was worried about that gap. It sure stuck. So, you know, I don't listen to my own advice. I should have took off half and started swinging that to that gap, and then let it play out, right, to see what's going on. See, I get impatient. So sometimes you can play those games and say, you know what, I don't know what's going to have that gap, and see what's going to turn out, and put your buy below that bottom candle on that gap, and put a buy. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, put a buy when it came back up into it, right? or you just seriously. But I would not, after the gap would fold going alongside. I would already been out alongside right here. Not kidding you. When you the gap fill, push today, I would have got out. I'm not kidding. I would have said I'm sitting out of this one because I don't know where this market's heading with the gap fill and with the cup and handle. Because I don't see a good drag on it. But see, their thing is they're not going to, in hindsight, so before says, oh, look at the drag, look at it happen. So, and you're not going to see those drags. But the angle is still, it's a weird angle coming off of that handle, but everything's weird about this market. Anyway, so thank you, and appreciate that, and I'll try to do a better job in this stuff and give more thought and actually trade the patterns versus doing a lot of guesswork, right? I got, and I have some other techniques that I haven't been engaging, like the moving averages, where I just don't spend the time, which is really bad. You want to have those moving averages. Anyway, take care. God bless.